Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, and welcome to this webinar from Klevu on the Klevu Merchandising Centre Masterclass. My name's Chris Edge. I head up the Global Customer Success team here at Klevu, and I'm joined by Sam Lismore, a Customer Success Manager. We're both based out of our London office, but I understand we've got plenty of people from around the world here today. So great to have you along. We're going to get started in a couple of moments, but just a bit of admin for you. You may well be able to see you have chat rooms in here. We encourage you to engage with us at any point. You can ask any questions within the chat room. Thank you for all the people that registered that have asked questions. So the way that we're going to tailor this presentation is Sam is going to run through the Klevu Merchandising Centre, but we're going to try and incorporate as many questions as we can whilst he's going through that. So, you know, we've kind of got that, and we'll kind of stop and give you a bit more advice on certain aspects that you've asked for. We're aiming for about 45 minutes. We think generally just to get through the search module will take about 30 minutes. But then it's over to you guys. If there's anything outstanding, we're then happy to stay on and answer any questions. So we do still have some people arriving. So just as a way of introduction, if you'd just like to, let's see if the chat is working. If you'd just like to introduce yourself and where you're from, just so we can know who's online. Hi, Oliver. Nice to meet you. Samad and Lindsay. Hi, Lindsay. How you doing? I think we've got a call tomorrow to catch up. So glad to see you online. Eric as well. Yeah, had a couple of calls with you this week. So glad to see you've managed to make it. We also have, you may also see, we have an emoji section here. So if there is anything you particularly like, you know, we do like feedback in here. So feel free to use those emojis as well. There you go. Cheers, guys. All right, I'm going to hand over to Sam now, who's going to share his screen. I'm going to go off screen and mute myself. So if you do have questions throughout the way, I'm going to be monitoring the questions. I will try and answer them as we go along. But like I said, at the end of the presentation, we will be here to answer any questions that you've got. So I will go off camera now, and over to you, Sam.
Perfect. Cool. Just double checking that you can all hear me. Chris, is audio coming through correctly? Chris, you're on mute. I'm just confirming.
There you can. I think I did just use the emoji. So
perfect. Okay. Cool. So I will share my screen, guys. Perfect. So I think that's all coming through. So brilliant. Yes, it's been a very quick intro to add on to Chris. Anybody who joined a little bit later, my name is Sam, I'm Customer Success Manager. I'll be running through the KMC today, incorporating a lot of the pre-asked questions that we've had coming through. If you do have any more, please put them in the chat, and Chris will do his best to answer those. So we've got a big variety of people on the call today, some new joiners to Klevu, some old faces, and potentially some people who aren't familiar with Klevu at all. So I guess I'll start from the top bottom and then run you through sort of day-to-day uses of the Klevu Merchant Centre. Fundamentally, this is it. Okay, so this is the Klevu Merchant Centre, or the KMC as we'll often refer to it. Okay. So on the left-hand side here, we have the different modules that we have, the different products. So we have Smart Search, Smart Category Merchandising, and Smart Recommendations. So let's focus on search for the moment. Okay, so you have a different number of sort of subheadings, and we'll tackle those. But fundamentally, this is your homepage for search. This is where you get your top line level of stats. If you're a customer who has multiple stores, We have a drop down here that will have your English, French, Spanish stores, different brands, whatever it may be. And then we can just slip and slide in between those of which ones that we want to look at data-wise. So this is dummy data. This is a demo account from Klevu. So what are we looking at here? So at this point here, we have the date range of the data that we're looking at from yesterday, 14/30, and then we can do a custom range as well. But let's look at the last 7 days. So these are your top line stats here. Now we have the total searched queries and then the total number of product clicks. So what we want to be looking out for here, guys, is we want a good ratio. Okay, so we want a good ratio of clicks to sales. Once we've got that good ratio, it knows that the products that Klevu are bringing up are relevant. Your customers are engaging with them. If it was super low, it may be a cause for concern, something for us to change or make sure that tracking is working. But fundamentally, that's what we want to be looking out for. The top location is reasonably self-explanatory. Where is the most amount of traffic coming from your search users, as is the search-led sales. So how much is search contributing towards the business in terms of sales? So they're your headline stats. Let's dig a little bit deeper. And so how can we use this data to our advantage? So the first one is, these are our keywords. Okay, so we have the most popular and most frequent search terms within this date period that we're looking at. Okay, so we have the keywords on the left-hand side and the amount of times they've been searched for on the right-hand side. So I've had a couple of questions in the registrations of what can we do around seasonality. Now, the beauty of Klevu is that we do incorporate seasonality within our learning. However, what we can do, and one of my customers has recently done, is when they've exported this data around, quite worryingly, around July, they were seeing that Christmas was coming up as one of their most frequently searched terms. So what it did for them, it made them move their whole marketing calendar a few weeks forward as Christmas was becoming a most popular search term. So that's one way in which we can deal with seasonality and just preempting those sort of customer changes and behavior changes towards search. But fundamentally, your most frequent search terms, there shouldn't be any big red flags here or any surprises. I'm sure you're all aware of your hero products, your hero search terms. But what is a good thing to look at here is the keywords with 0 results. Okay, so this is your low-hanging fruit. A lot of questions were coming through earlier of what can we do around quick wins? How can we maximize the revenue coming through search for as little effort as possible? And this is by far one of the best ways to do that. So these are your search terms that customers are looking for that we don't display any results for. Now, as it stands, if somebody searches for a black t-shirt, for example, and we don't have that in stock, or we don't have that as a product, you will just get your initial message of, sorry, no black t-shirts available, or whatever your message may be. So what we want to do is we want to sort of cater and reduce that bounce rate and cater for the customers that are looking for something that we don't have. Best way to describe is if you go into a shop and ask the shopkeeper, do you have a black t-shirt? And they say no. Okay, fine, you're going to leave, you're going to go to a different shop. If you ask for a black t-shirt, to say no, but please look at this other range of t-shirts that we have, you're much more likely to buy. And this is where we can recreate that service. So for this search term here, what we can do is we can add a synonym. Okay, so we don't have that jacket, but we do have a fleece. Okay, so we click save. Now, if somebody searches for jacket that we don't have, it will take you to the fleece pages. All of a sudden, just again, trying to reduce that bounce rate and fundamentally, yeah, improving the customer's journey. Additionally, what we do also sometimes see here is words that aren't necessarily products, but things like returns, deliveries, contact us, jobs, store locator, etc. Now, understandably, we don't have any products with those names. So what we can do is say, for example, this is searching, this search term here is contact us. We could put a URL redirect in place, put in the corresponding URL for our contact us page. Now, moving forward, if somebody searches for contact us, hits enter, it takes you straight to the contact us page. From here, we have product clicks. These are the most popular products on the left-hand side, the amount of times they've been clicked, and then the keywords that people have searched for in order to find that product. Additionally, from there, we have locations. So these are your most popular locations. At this point, we have the number one, but we want to find out in a little bit more detail of where our customers are coming from, where the traffic's coming from. Now, one good use case of this is that if you're looking to do an ad campaign or Instagram post based on a geographical location, this could be a massive help. Okay, the same way that I may speak differently based in Essex to somebody that's based in Glasgow, or different weathers, etc. You can use this information to change your ad campaigns based on geography. Then finally, we have the most sold products. So again, this is a really nice tool to have a little look at. You have the products on the left-hand side, the transactions, the units, the sales, and then additionally the keywords in which people have searched for in order to find that product. Then you can export any of this data, click on what you want, put in your email ID and how long do you want that for, click apply, export, and that will take you to and that will send that to you in a nice CSV file. Additionally, we have a couple of other buttons here. So we have live view. What this will do, admittedly, this is a demo map, so we've got no live searches coming through at the moment. But what this will do is this will give you a live up-to-date heat map of where the searches are coming from. And you can zoom in really far, really quite in to see how ad campaigns are going. You'll get the live searches, the top searches, and then the top products within the last minute. Additionally, here we have enhanced analytics. This is a reasonably new tool or a reasonably new upgrade that's come from Klevu. So we had some feedback that we wanted some more data around the sort of search itself. So in between here now we have key metrics, so click-through rate, click conversion rate, and sales conversion rates. And again, looking through specific time periods as well. We have the amount of search users, sales through Klevu as well, so search-led sales, average product revenue. Here we have search term analysis. So having a look here at your top search terms. From there, a spider graph. So we're looking at yoga, then goes to yoga straps, yoga to companion, and then we can look at any of the top. So co-occurring descriptors and the co-occurring product names. Again, we can chop and change of which search terms that we want to look at. Have the top number of search terms and search term by usage, so mobile, desktop, and others. And then finally, we have filter analysis. So the most popular product filters, distribution of filter clicks, percentage of users that used filters on your store, and most popular filter values, and again, usage by devices. So there are your sort of headline stats around search. So if we then go on to the other tab here of customizations. Now there's lots of tabs here. So for time's sake, what I'm going to focus on is the ones that you will be using day to day, and the ones that you will find most useful, not just within the setup. So first of all, general settings. Okay, so this is more of your upkeep. Okay, so we have out of stock products here, if we want to show those or not, an out of stock caption. Now here we have popular searches and recent searches. So what does this mean? As soon as you engage with the search bar, Klevu are naturally going to suggest the top 5 search terms. So for example, a lot of customers at the moment, it will be Christmas, t-shirts, whatever it may be. Okay, if we want to manually override those, okay, here is where we can do that. We want to include sale, hoodie, whatever it may be. So we can essentially override what the Klevu is suggesting. Now, additionally, on the flip side to that, if we are suggesting if returns is coming up as one of your top 5 search terms, if we don't want that to show, we can exclude search terms here. Again, so we want to exclude that. Responsiveness, if you want to show product SKUs, tick on there. If you have some products that don't have any imagery, so things like sort of gift cards or membership, something like that, you could just put in the URL of the thumbnail image and then show the box on the search results page as well. Show personalized recommendations. So this is one that I would advise doing to all. This is definitely a quick win. I know a lot of these questions where we're going around quick wins and what can we do. So what this does is this just gives a further visual sort of user journey for your customer when they come on the site. So if you don't have these ticked, then we'll just suggest the popular searches, which I mentioned earlier. Whereas if you click these two, then we will not only show the most trending products with the actual product title and a straight away click to take you to that product, but we also have the recently viewed. And the one that's really good for recently viewed is we quite often see when we look on our GA that returning customers will quite often have a higher conversion rate. They'll quite often be worth more to the business. So what we want to do is we want to show the returning customers what were they recently looking at to prompt that buy. And this is one of the quick wins that you can do. Now, one of the other questions that I got sent through, or a recurring theme, was what could we do around personalization? It's a really good point. And here at Klevu, this is where we can help. So trending products, if we look down here at the bottom left, we show personalization. So we want to enable personalization for search and for category pages as well. Once we've done that, what that means is that my results may look different to yours. Okay, so for example, myself and Chris, we're both on a site looking for different products. Okay, I'm looking for a black t-shirt that's worth £50. Chris is looking for a red t-shirt that's worth £100. Now we know that based off these affinities that I've got a different price range to Chris, I've got a different style to Chris. So when we next go on the site, I'm going to be greeted with trending products of black t-shirts around that price mark. Chris is also going to be greeted with t-shirts around a different price mark of that £100 and more than likely red. Now this doesn't just limit to trending products. If you enable personalization, that will change the search results landing page as well. So again, if I've got a particular affinity to a particular brand or price range, Klevu realizes that that's what I'm looking for, so the results will change to match. Search report in email. So if you want to receive some of those reports I was talking about earlier, we could do daily or weekly, put in your email address here, and then they will get sent to you. Again, this is a real good way to preempt that seasonality and understand what customers are looking for. We then go on to no results found personalization. Excuse me. So this is a nice little tool to use. What this does is this allows you to change your messaging for customers that are looking for something that isn't just out of the ordinary. And what I mean by that is that if somebody's searching for Boxing Day sales at the moment, okay, they'll just be greeted with this message: we're sorry, no results found for Boxing Day sales. We don't just want to give that message because, you know, it's something that we want to give a specific message for, let the customer know. We want to preempt them and give them an option. So what we can do here is Boxing Day sale. We can give a specific message that says, please sign up to our newsletter to get an early access to sale, or something along those lines. Okay, so what we can then do there, instead of just letting the customer bounce, we're giving them an option to A, sign up to the business, okay, increasing our database, and B, giving them another option instead of just leaving. And what we can do to prompt them for that is add in a specific banner. Now I'll touch on banners more so a little bit later, but fundamentally we can put in the image URL, the target URL, which will be your sign up letter, and we want that on the quick search for the specific search term Boxing Day sale. So now, as it stands, if somebody were to come onto the site and type in a normal search term that we don't have, they'll be greeted with this message. If they're looking for something like Boxing Day sale, they'll come up with this specific message, a nice banner that will prompt them to a secondary page, and again, just creating the better user journey. Perfect. So we then touch on promotions, and this is the sort of crux of what we do here at Klevu. So a real sort of brief intro in case anybody here is not aware of what we do. So we're a product discovery suite, and we base our product popularity on interactions and sales with customers. Okay, so we have an AI algorithm, a machine learning that work hand in hand to essentially order your products for you. Okay, so as it stands, We work off a 30-day window. The more popular a product becomes, the higher in the rankings that will be. And we'll be working from the 1st to the 30th, the 2nd to the 31st, the 3rd to the 1st, etc. So the thing with Klevu is we're happy and you're happy to let things work as they do. However, if you do want to override those and make some manual merchandising, this is where we do it. Okay, and there's a number of different ways we can. This is a demo account, so we've seen some boosting already. But fundamentally, the applied boosting score, the higher that is, the higher in the rankings that product will be. Okay, and we can manipulate this applied boosting score in a number of different ways. So we've got 3 individual scores here. The green one is the product level score. So by default, that's 1. But if we want to boost one product on its own, we can search for that product here and we want to boost that. So this product here has got a boost of 300. Let's just take that away. We want to give that a boost of 10. Click save. Cool. The second score that we can change is the rule-based merchandising. That's the blue one, and that by default is at 1. And we'll touch on that in a moment. But finally, the score that we can't change is the organic self-learning score. Okay, so if we don't make any changes, the green one is 1, the blue one is 1, and we'll just work off the orange score, which is the self-learning score. So let's touch on this blue score, which is the rule-based merchandising. That's this tab up here. So this is where we can boost the number of products across a certain attribute. Okay, so the example I always give, we want to add a rule here. Business is going well, but we've seen a slight dip in average order value. So what can we do to increase that across the site? Okay, so we want to add in here, increase AOV. So that's the rule name, description, test, status active, correct? So if we go down to the rule condition, if all of the following conditions are true, correct, now we want to boost off a product attribute. Now because it's AOV, so these are all the things that we can currently merchandise on. But for this example, we want to merchandise off price range. So now anything greater than £50, yeah, that's all looking good. Price range greater than £50, correct. We want to give that a score of 10. Once I now click save rule, anytime somebody does a search across the site, any product that costs more than £50 will be given a boost towards the top of the search results. Now, a slight caveat here, guys, if you are looking to play around with the boosting does go up to 999. I would avoid going that high because that may affect the relevancy. So remember that this boosting works hand in hand with the relevancy of the search term itself. So what I would generally do is play around from sort of 0 to 10, 0 to 15. If you need to boost more, then you always can. But yeah, I'd go reasonably conservative to begin with. Let's save that rule. Perfect. Cool. So we then go on to keyword level visual merchandising. Excuse me. So what this allows you to do is this allows you to manually merchandise your search results landing page. Okay, so for example, somebody is searching for t-shirt here. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to pin particular products to this search term. Okay, we don't want to give them a boost, but this all-weather top here, this jacket here, and jacket here. Let's just change this to jacket for ease. Cool. So now if somebody searches for the search term jacket, these products are now hard-coded in at the top. We can now simply drag and drop to change the order. But fundamentally, it doesn't matter what boosting score any other product has. These products here, these top 3 are pinned in. Okay, they're hard-coded in. Once you click save and boost, now if you were to search for jackets, you'd have those top 3 products, and then afterwards it will go to the boosting scores, the applied boosting scores that we covered earlier. Again, just as a caveat to this one, guys, just a bit of housekeeping. If you do use this, keep an eye on this and maybe run through these once a month. What we don't want to do is pin in some products, forget about them. 6 months down the line, those top pinned products are no longer relevant. Okay, so if you are using this tool, be careful just to run through them once a month or so. Additionally, we have keyword product-based exclusions. This is essentially exactly the same, but instead of pinning products to the top, this will just exclude them from the search results altogether. So say, for example, this tote bag was coming up if somebody was searching for, I don't know, tracksuits. Because this product has got track in the title, it may be at the very bottom of the search results just because there's a slight word match there, but we know that's not fundamentally what we mean, okay? So it will be at the bottom of the results, but if we want to get rid of that altogether, we type this in here, drag that across, and now this product is still live on the site. You can still search for this product, still buy it, but just for this specific search term, it will not show. Cool, we then go on to banner management. So these will be the current banners that we will have live on the site. So you have a list of them, how many clicks they've had, how they're doing. But if we want to add a banner, we put in the image URL and there's a recommended size guide. Put in the banner name, the target URL. And if we want this banner to go live to today from today onwards, then we'll leave this date as it is. If this is something that we want to preempt for Boxing Day, for example, we'll just click in here, Boxing Day, and we want to take that to the 1st of January. So now we've got a sort of scheduled campaign to put that in. And where can we have this banner? So we've got a couple of options. We can have it on a drop-down search. We can have that at the top or the bottom. And we can also have it on the search results landing page itself. Now, as mentioned earlier, if this is a general banner, then we want this to show for any search term at all. If this is a specific banner, like that example earlier, Boxing Day sale, then now the banner will only show for this specific search term. Cool. We then go on to synonyms. So this is a good one as well to use hand in hand with that keywords of 0 results that I mentioned earlier. This one's a nice simple tool to use. Put in your keyword. Do you want that to go one way or two way? And put in the corresponding synonym. Click add, and that will then go live. If you're a new customer to Klevu and you have a list of your old synonyms, then what we could do here is we could bulk upload. So download a sample CSV file, put in all of your synonyms, bulk upload, and then that will change all of your synonyms, upload them there. Now, again, a slight caveat here, guys, something to remember. If you do want to bulk upload synonyms, but you already have some in place, then download the current list of synonyms and then add to that. Because if you bulk upload, it will override the current synonyms here. So it's written down in this little warning message, but sometimes it's missed. So just keep an eye on that. Cool. From there, we have URL redirect. So again, what this allows you to do is this allows you to put in a search term. You don't want to take it to a search results landing page. You want to take it to a specific page. Put in the search term, the corresponding URL, click add, and publish URL redirects. So again, one thing I definitely advise you guys doing is your generic sort of navigation search terms. So things like contact us, jobs, store locator, deliveries, returns, some things that customers may find it a little bit harder to spot on your site. Perfect. So I'm just looking at time now. We've got around 15 or so minutes left. I did get some questions around smart category merchandising. So I'm going to see if we can cover off some of those questions. Okay, here. So again, what we're looking at here is the smart category merchandising. So this is Klevu powering your category pages for you. So very similar to your headline stats for search, we've got the same principle here. So total category views, total product clicks, average click-through rate, category-led sales, and then a list here of all of your categories, okay? The path in which they're taking, the amount of views, and how your categories are performing based off the sales they're generating. So if you want to look a little bit deeper into one of these categories, so pants, we want to have a little look at, review category, and now we can see all of the top performing products here. We've got the ID, the views, the clicks, conversions, etc. Additionally, what we can do is we can have a look at the top performing products across the site. So say, for example, this Zing jump rope is in 3 different categories across your site. We can click here, view categories. Now, how is this product performing in all the categories that it's in? Okay, so we can see here it's performing really well under watches. It's performing less well under fitness equipment. Okay, so that may mean 2 things to us. It means that we may want to jump into the fitness equipment. If this product here, the Zing jump rope, is one that we really want to push, it's a hero product and it sells very well, we may just want to jump into fitness equipment and pin this to the top, give it a little boost, and see if we can increase how that's performing in that category. Cool. We then move on to the actual merchandising. Okay, so this is the main reason why people will take on the Smart Category Merchandising tool, is they'll want to create the specific look for their category pages. Okay, and there's a number of ways in which we can do that. So as it stands here, there's 3 tabs, and I'll run through these individually. But number 1, we've got the default rules. Now, as the name suggests, these will be the rules that you'll put in place that will now be your standard. This is your baseline. These are your rules. You put them in, and this is what we'll work from. Okay, so you have your categories here, and then the changes that we've made to the categories. So for hoodies and sweatshirts, women's tops, we've created 3 rules. We've pinned 3 products, but we haven't excluded any. Okay, so it just gives you an idea, and you can search for the categories here. I want to make a change. So I click on Manage Categories. Oh, let's go to men's. So we proceed with men's, and let's pick something else, men's tops. Proceed. Cool, so we're now under the category of men. Okay, we can see here that we've got no rules in place. We've got a large number of products in the category, so we want to show 100 products so we don't need to be chopping and changing between the pages. Now, what can we do here? So, for example, we want to pin a number of these products, okay? And there's a couple of different ways you can do that. If you're pinning individually, you want to pin this one. Here we want to pin that one, okay? Just take a little bit of time, and we want to pin a lot of products at the same time. We just click on this tick button here. So we're just selecting these products. Then we go to actions and pin. We want to pin those 5 products. Perfect. Brilliant. And these are the products that we wanted pinned to the top, but they're not quite in the order that I want them to. How can we change the order? We click on top products, and we can just simply drag and drop. Again, if you're working with lots of products and you don't like the drag and drop, we can just take away the order number there, put in the order number 3, and that will update. Perfect, that's looking exactly how we want it to. And we want to find out a little bit of information about this product here. So if we click on this more info, then here we've got the base price, the category, the currency, the product ID, is it in stock, yes or no, the pattern, and everything that we want to see. Perfect. So we've got them in stock, and we've got those products pinned. Now we want to add some boosting rules. So for example, we want to boost anything that's got the color blue. 15, we want to give that a boost of. Perfect. Now we can see here, again, it hasn't affected these top pinned products because the pinning overrides the rules. Once we go after the pinned products, we then see that all of the products here that we're seeing are blue because we've given that boost to them. I did query this one earlier, as it does look black, but I can assure you it's under here as blue. Perfect. So we now got this page to look exactly how we want it to. Now we can either edit those rules, add another rule, we could delete them, and we can copy them across. So we want to copy that across to men's tops because they're the 2 categories that I was applying for. Perfect. So that's now all done. We then click Save and Publish, and those categories will then be updated, which is all great. If we want to put in some temporary rules, so that's how we change the default strategy. Okay, that's how we want them to look, and we'll chop and change those as we make the sort of business decisions on sales and promotions, etc. But for example, we've got the general consensus of how we want the pages to look. But again, Boxing Day is coming up. We know that we're going to have a Boxing Day sale from the 26th to the 1st of January. After the 1st of January, we want everything to go back to normal. But just for that time period, we want to make some changes. So what we can do here is if we click on Scheduled Campaigns, So we create new. Again, let's go for the men category. Click proceed, and again, this is how that page looks. Now, for example, we want to, for this sale period, we want to pin this. In fact, we want to pin these 3 products. Pin selected, yep. These products here aren't going to be on sale, so we want to exclude. Perfect, brilliant. So this is how we want the Boxing Day sale page to look like within that week period. So what we can do here is we can schedule the campaign. So we want this to go live on the 26th at, let's say, 1 a.m. And we want this to finish on the 1st of Jan. Again, let's go 1 a.m. Apply. Boxing Day. Now click Save and Publish. Oh, we can see that there's, apologies, the dummy account. So perfect. Here we got it. We got it here at the bottom. So Boxing Day. Okay, so this is when it's going to go live. This is when it's going to finish, and that's now done as active. So from the 26th of December at 1 a.m., your page is going to change exactly how you want it to. And then as again, the 1st of January, it will go back to the original default ideas. So it's a really good way to preempt those sale periods, especially over the Christmas time at the moment where office may be sort of low on numbers. Everybody's super busy. We can preempt those peak sort of sale periods and make sure everything is running sort of as smoothly as possible. Now we'll touch on this. So we've got a few questions around A/B split testing. So this was something that we had a lot of feedback from our customers. If we've got time, I'll touch on the product board in a little bit about how you can have your say in where we go as a business. But fundamentally, we had some feedback saying, look, it would be really cool if we had an A/B split test tool within merchandising. So we sort of took it away. We implemented it in. So it's still a reasonably new feature, but we've had some great feedback so far. Okay, so say we want to create a new A/B split test. And as a customer success manager myself, dealing with a number of customers and their strategies, one of the common questions I got was, what's best to do? You know, we're working off a learning algorithm that's, you know, based off clicks, sales, and hard definitive data. However, we've also got a design team who want the page to look exactly how we want it to. So what's best for us as a business? For a customer success manager, it's quite hard to answer that as it's very much a revenue versus style question. But hopefully with this tool, it can give you the correct answer. Okay, and what I mean by that is that we can test those 2 specific strategies. Okay, so what's the objective or goal for this A/B split test? Let's just go, I'm just playing around for the moment. Test name, let's just put in test. And what category do we want to try this on? Again, let's go for consistency and click men. Proceed. Add duration. How long do we want this test to last? Okay, we want it for this whole month. We want a solid amount of data to be looking at. Proceed. Save and next. I believe one of the questions was, what sort of strategy should we be using within these A/B split tests? And I guess in short, it is up to you. Fundamentally, one of the biggest use cases of this is, you know, who knows better in terms of the business? Is it the Klevu data, or do we want the specific styling of the page to come through? So here we've got 2 base variants. So we've got 2 variants here. So we've got the base, which is your default merchandising. So that's how your pages currently look, as I touched on earlier, your default rules. And then we have here, so we want to test this against the self-learning. Okay, so that will take out all of the rules, all of the pinned products you have, and that will solely base off the popularity of products. Okay, so as it stands, that's the 50-50 traffic split. But say, for example, we've got a real wild card that we want to try. What we can do here is add variant. Okay, so what we want the majority of the traffic to these 2 strategies. Okay, so these are the two that we really want to test. It's the default merchandising and the machine learning. But again, we've got a real wild card that we want to put in place. So we can click here and merchandise something specific for that smaller variant. And let's just say, for this variant, anything greater than £40, we want to give that a score of 20. Okay, so we want to boost the most pricey items that we have. Perfect, brilliant. Save that. And now, as it stands, we've got the traffic split. So we've got the top two variants that we want to work with, and then that real wild card that we want to show. Click Start Test. Oh, apologies. It looks like somebody has already put in an A/B split test within the demo account. But fundamentally, so let's cancel this. But you would click Save Test. And what you will is you'll have the results here. Okay, so you'll have variants A, B, and C, and you'll have the click-through rates, the category views, and the sales for each of those variants. So we can keep an eye on these. These two are currently running. This one's a draft. We haven't quite pushed that one live yet. And then we've got, again, the time periods in which these are running to. So that, in short, is the A/B split test. It's definitely something that of use. I'll just quickly touch on this roadmap because I feel it is a good thing to slightly touch on. As I mentioned, we have brought through a number of these sort of features from feedback. So what you can do here is if you do have any feedback or any wants, put through the submit idea. What we're looking for, is it nice to have, important or critical, submit, and that goes straight to our product team and done on a sort of vote-based system. So yes, I hope that's all been of value to you guys. I guess I will stop sharing my screen. And I guess maybe open the floor to some potential questions if we have any time. Chris, you may be able to let me know what we're like time-wise.
We've got a couple of minutes, and there have been some questions that we've been fielding.
Sure.
But yeah, if anybody does have any outstanding questions, yeah, we're happy to help. I think, Martin, with the question about Elastic Suite, obviously there are the number of different features each search provider have. I guess with Elastic Suite, there's no learning element. There's no ability to really tailor many different aspects of the search results easily. It's very, very complex to set up and manage. Obviously, the beauty of Klevu is you can let the algorithm run itself, or you can very quickly and easily through the merchandising console make changes, not just to the search results page, but also your category pages, and manage that all in one place, rather than having your search done by Elastic Suite and your categories by some other module. So hope that answers your question. One thing lots of people have asked this is definitely yes, the video of this will be available on demand after the presentation. So if you want to come back and kind of refresh any parts of this, it will be available after the event. All right. Well, I think we just got a question. I think thank you, Eric. No problem. Well, I was just to say, I think hopefully we've got through most of the questions that you had. If you do have anything, please do feel free to reach out. We are scheduling these masterclasses every month, so you will be getting a lot more information from both of us. And this is an evolving thing. We'd really like your feedback on this. When we got all these questions in, we thought, we've probably got a split of people who have never seen the KMC before and others who have got quite a lot of in-depth questions. So we may well be looking to do things like, has to be anything event, kind of a drop-in clinic for where we'll have solutions architects and things like this. But this is an evolving thing. We are looking to engage with you guys as much as we can. We'd love your feedback on any of this, and hopefully we will see you again shortly. So on behalf of Sam and I, thank you very much for attending, and yeah, we'll see you soon.
Cheers, guys.